Okay, we're still in our L8 start document and we're going to apply a special effect. So let's go into the Effect menu to Document Raster Effects Settings, and let's change the resolution from low resolution, 72 pixels per inch, to high resolution, 300 pixels per inch, so that our effect looks good. So we'll click on OK, and then let's go up here to the Layers panel, and let's hide the contents of the face layer. We'll click on the little twirly, and let's reveal the contents of the frame layer. Click on the little twirly there, and we see that there are two paths inside the frame layer, and let's select the second path. Now we'll select the object on that layer by clicking on the little target, the little circle. Okay, when we click on the target, we see it now becomes two concentric circles, and we see a little selected item icon on that layer indicating something on the artboard has been selected. And if we go over here to the artboard, we see the bounding box for the selected object. And now we're going to apply an effect, so let's go into the Effect menu, and we'll go to Illustrator Effects and choose Stylize. Then come over here to Drop Shadow. And we have the Drop Shadow dialog box. Let's change the opacity to 50%. Hit the Tab key, and then let's click OK. Now that effect has been applied to the object, let's go into the Select menu to deselect, and we can see the drop shadow. Now if we go back to the Layers panel, we can see the appearance of the target has changed. The little target circle now has a gradient inside, and that tells us that an appearance or special effect has been applied to an object on that layer, and we can go back and modify or revise that appearance, that special effect, by using the Appearance panel. So first let's select the object again using the Layers panel. So we'll click on the little target circle for that layer and select that object again. And now let's go to the Appearance panel. Okay, so we see in the Appearance panel that the drop shadow is indicated, and if we click on the words drop shadow with the underline, we can get right back to the drop shadow dialog box. And if we wanted to, we could change the drop shadow back to 75%, hit the Tab key, and click OK. And then we'll go into the Select menu to deselect, and we see that now the drop shadow behind the clock has been changed. It's a bit darker. Now we can also use the Layers panel to apply that same effect, that same drop shadow, to other objects. So first of all, let's do this. Let's go back to the Layers panel, and let's close all the twirlies so the contents of the layers are all hidden. And then let's come back over here to the artboard, and with our black arrow, our selection tool, let's click on the hands of the clock. Okay, so now in the artboard we've selected those objects, and if we come back over here to the Layers panel, now we can see that the layer with the selected object has been revealed, the selected objects. The hands layer has been revealed, and we see the little selected item icon on the hands layer, and we notice that there's another selected item icon on the face layer itself, but it's smaller, indicating that somewhere inside the face layer there is a selected item icon indicating selected objects. And so if we were to close the face layer, we can see that little selected item icon, reveal the contents of the face layer, and we see which layer the selected object is on. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the frame layer, reveal the frame layer, and we see that we have that layer with a special effect applied. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply that special effect to the group. In other words, the contents of the hands layer. So if we click on the little twirly, we see there is a group of objects inside the hands layer, but I'll just click on that little twirly again to hide the contents of the hands layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the Option key or the Alt key, and I'm going to click on that little target on the path layer inside the frame layer and drag it on top of the target on the hands layer in order to make a copy of that appearance. Release the mouse and drop it off on the target on the hands layer, release the Option key or the Alt key, and I see the appearance of the target on the hands layer has changed to indicate that a special effect has been applied to those objects inside the hands layer. And when we come back over here to the artboard and go under the Select menu to deselect, we can see on the artboard now the hands of the clock have that same drop shadow behind them.